The Massacre of Iranians. In early January 2026, one of the largest and bloodiest waves of protests in contemporary Iranian history took place. The spark, December 28, 2025. Everything began at Tehran's Grand Bazaar and the surrounding commercial complexes. The price of the US dollar in the free market had risen sharply, and the value of the Iranian Rial had nearly halved within a single year. Food inflation was reported at over 70%, and many merchants were no longer able to continue their businesses. They shut down their shops and took to the streets. The initial slogans were mainly economic in nature. However, very quickly, in less than 48 hours, the slogans took on a political character. Rapid spread across the entire country. Within a few days, protests spread across the country. People from all walks of life, from shopkeepers to drivers, workers, teachers, and even some retirees came to the streets. From approximately the third day onward, university students entered the scene, and dominant, explicit anti-government slogans emerged. In many cities, protesters attacked and set fire to banks, Basij bases, government symbols, and even some state radio and television buildings. On January 8th, one of the largest protest gatherings since the 1979 revolution took place. Reports indicated the presence of tens of thousands of people in cities across Iran. In Tehran, many streets and squares were filled with crowds. The nights of January 8th and 9th. A bloody suppression. On the nights of January 8th and 9th, the government carried out one of the bloodiest crackdowns in its history. Widespread direct fire using live ammunition. Use of drones for surveillance and monitoring, and heavy machine guns in some areas to suppress the protests. There were also several reported but unconfirmed execution-style shots to wounded protesters in the streets, and even inside hospitals. As of January 25th, Harana, the US-based human rights NGO, has reported 5,459 confirmed deaths, with 5,149 being protesters, 60 children, 208 government forces, and 42 non-protester or civilians. Harana reported that is still processing 17,301 death reports, and numbers keep going up every day. This was a complete massacre, unprecedented in Iran's history. This massacre was carried out with the assistance of the regime's repressive forces, and there are some unconfirmed reports that proxy forces of the Islamic regime from countries such as Iraq, Lebanon, and Afghanistan were involved. Families are searching morgues for the bodies of their loved ones, and the exact scale of this killing remains unknown due to the complete shutdown of the internet. A nationwide internet blackout has continued for several weeks now, alongside mass arrests involving tens of thousands of people and reports of the execution of some detainees. International reactions. International reactions, including statements by Human Rights Watch, the European Union, and remarks by US officials, including Trump, in support of the protesters, have occurred, but given the scale of this crime, they appear insufficient. Ali Khamenei, the criminal dictator of Iran, appeared before cameras with a smile of satisfaction after ordering the massacre and blamed the crime on terrorist groups allegedly affiliated with Israel and the United States. The people of Iran are in shock and rage and are now thinking only of the day of justice.